I see what we're doing, in an Equestria Girls review, where instead of a pony going to the human world to turn human, we send a human into the pony world to turn... Why am I not a pony?
We didn't have the budget for it.
Didn't have the... Turn the green screen off, turn it off. Ugh. Why did we even green screen that? You could have just taken me there. Oh, doesn't matter. Once upon a time, there was this amazing show called My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. It was a remake of a remake of a remake, depicting a pony, who later becomes a princess, learning the power of friendship with her friends Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Rarity, and Applejack. And somehow, it was pretty badass, even to the point of having several documentaries and conventions dedicated to the series. Hell, there's an entire fan base of grown men who absolutely love this show and call themselves bronies. It's insane! With a fanbase this big, it makes sense that it has also become very popular. And with popularity, there is of course movies based on it. Though we'll see how that turns out in 2017. Equestria Girls is a series of made-for-TV movies where our main heroine goes through a portal where she's a high school human girl. Even though I love the first film, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone else who does. Most critics were indifferent towards it, but the audience's reaction was a lot worse. Several straight up hating it. So when a sequel was announced, no one was looking forward to it. Even I thought it was going to be terrible. And can you blame me? I mean, look at this trailer, man. It looks like complete garbage. But then they came out with the short depicting one of the main six, or five, finding the right instrument for her to play in a band they were forming. And it was amazing. It was funny, it was entertaining, it got me excited. But then they came out with another one, and another one, and another one, up until all five had their instruments. And they were also amazing! Each one being just as great, if not better than the last. Not only getting me excited, but getting every other brony excited. At some point, a lot of bronies were just looking forward to this film that we initially wrote off as Fox and the Hound 2, but with anthros. So, is the final product as good as the shorts made it look? There's only one way to find out. Let's take a look at Equestria Girls, Rainbow Rocks. Equestria Girls were kind of magical. Boots on hooves, bikinis on top. Furry coats so cute, will blow your mind. First, I want to point out that this follows Sunset Shimmer, the villain turned good character from the last film, more than it follows anyone else. Which makes sense, seeing how prominently she's shown on the cover. My god, she's not even on the back or on the discs. Come on, Sunset was at least on the back of the first Equestria Girls film. Why not here? On that note, why is this called Rainbow Rocks? I mean, I do agree, Rainbow does in fact rock. But could you not come up with a better fitting title for this movie? Anyways, our film starts out on the outside of a fast food joint in the human world. Ah, this must be America. And we go in to see fart fumes surrounding a bunch of teenagers. Ah, this must be Taco Bell. Nope, as it turns out those fart fumes are created by everyone arguing. Which is created by these three assholes. Which begs the question, if everyone is fighting, why doesn't anyone leave? Don't get me wrong, I love Taco Bell as much as the next guy, but it's not that good. Then we get to see the roots of the problem. Wait. What the fuck? How do they fit their humongous hair in something as tiny as a hood? I think Diamond Tiara said it best.
Look at her hair.
Speaking of, these three do have a nice design. Sure, they look like they fell out of the 80s, but they stand out and just look all around awesome. But back to what I was saying. Their names are Aria Blaze, Adagio Dazzle, and Sonata Dusk. And my god, Sonata Dusk! She blew up following the release of Rainbow Rocks, everyone declaring her being hilarious. Alright then, Sonata Dusk. Make me laugh.
Oh, yeah. What you said I meant to say. That's what I meant to say.
Maybe that was a fluke. Show me another one of her lines.
Told you someone would give them a shove.
She didn't shove them. She pulled the lever.
She's just not that funny, is she? Don't get me wrong, she's not bad. She even gets some funny lines every once in a while.
Too bad. So sad.
But people were comparing her to Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie, one of the greatest comic relief characters of all time, being compared to...
It's a fruit punch, isn't it? I knew I used too much grape juice.
That! It doesn't help that she has a personality of a Carrot Top prop. Which reminds me, what are their personalities? Well, Sonata is a ditzy one, Arya is the arguing one, and Adagio is the easily annoyed leader. Wow, they are so three-dimensional and complex. To be fair, it's not like the show is very well known for its complex villains. But come on! Queen Chrysalis has more personality than these three. But I will say they do have at least more personality than in the Fiendship is Magic comic. Going back to the plot, the three stooges hear a noise, go outside, and see the amazing Rain Fuck You bow from the first film. That, for some reason, nobody else hears.
Taste the rainbow, motherfucker!
Did you feel that? Do you know what that is? It's equestrian magic.
But this world doesn't have equestrian magic.
Then explain that then, Adam Savage!
It does now, and we're going to use it to make everyone in this pathetic little world adore us.
We zoom into her tits to get the opening sequence. I'm just gonna say, this is awesome! I love the opening credits of the first film, but this is such a step forward. The music, the animation, the plug that gets plugged in only to get unplugged. It all just looks awesome. This should be the opening credits of the show. Sure, it'll take up a quarter of the runtime, but it's at least better than that. So maybe the lyrics are a bit too optimistic.
You can pick up the bass.
No, I can't.
And you can play the guitar.
No, I can't.
You can bang on the drums.
No, I seriously cannot do any of that. I don't own those instruments, and even if I did, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do with them.
Or you can sing like a star.
Okay, that I can do, but I don't think you'd want me to.
As we learn how the rainbow rocks.
He said it! He said it!
Once that amazingness ends, we see that everyone in the school are being dicks to Sunset Shimmer.
Want some help?
No thanks. We're good.
What? She only tried to enslave all of the students to take over the human world and the pony world.
Of course!
Well, I say everyone, but as it turns out, the main 5 forgive her.
Sunset Shimmer! Over here!
Good afternoon, students.
Yeah! Why are Celestia and Luna's legs made out of celery sticks? I mean, everyone has weird legs, but those two in particular seem to be walking on stilts. Back to the plot, this year Canla High is holding a musical showcase where anyone can play a song to, I don't know, promote themselves?
I think it's going to be one of the most exciting events we've had at CHS since the fall formal.
Ooh, Exnay Omofei. Unset say. And as it turns out, the main 5 have a band together. Rainbow on lead guitar and vocals, Applejack on bass, Verdi on guitar, Flushy on tambourine, and Pinky on drums. I'm going to guess that Sunset's the manager? And we lazily transition into a song.
1, 2, 3. There was a time we were apart, but that's behind us now.
Now, something you'll notice quickly is that all of the songs kick major ass. They kick so much ass that there's multiple songs in this about kicking ass. Speaking of the songs, it's here that we learn that for some reason, they turn into furry cosplayers when they play their instruments.
I just wonder why it happens. Princess Twilight took her crown back to Equestria. Shouldn't that mean she took all the magic back with her?
No, Applejack, don't point out the plot holes. Rainbow Dash, ignore her.
Who cares why it happens? It makes my band totally awesome.
Good job. But then, a wild flash appears. Still a piece of shit character. To be fair, he's at least tolerable here. But he still has a personality that'll rival Sonata. Basically, he comes in, compliments them.
You guys are sounding really tight.
Rainbow gets to act like Ty in the Shadows.
Rarity's still coming in a little late on the second verse, and Applejack's bass solo could use a little work.
He asks, "Where's Twy?" AJ says, "Not here," and he leaves. This has been a pointless moment.
Well, someone is quite the smitten kitten.
Ooh, someone's got a boner. Just then, Sunset is called because she volunteered to show a few new students around. And, not surprisingly, it's Dumb, Dumber, and Dumbest. They even bother to hide in the shadows until Sunset talks to them. You know, to be subtle.
We really sense there's something magical about this place.
I feel like someone's made a Taste the Rainbow motherfucker reference here.
We have been known to sing from time to time.
Hello! We sing like all the time. It's how we get people to do what we want. What did I say?
I'm the stupid one.
You'll have to excuse them. They're idiots.
Hey, it's just like when I'm with you two.
Hey! Fuck you!
Wow, was my joke really that bad? No, she's just admiring their bling.
Where did you...
Sorry. These pendants mean an awful lot to us. We just hate for anything to happen to them.
I think you broke my wrist. Cut to the cafeteria where Sunset is just not hungry. Oh yeah, and she knows that the obvious bad guys were off.
Like off like this? Or off like this?
Nah, off like this. All the while, things 1 through 3 are planning their attack.
There is equestrian magic here. Their negative energy will give us the power we need to get this entire world to do our bidding.
But we can get lunch after though, right? It's Taco Tuesday!
Don't get too excited. I heard it didn't work out that well in the Lego movie. Not so good. They enter singing another superb song to turn everybody against each other. Something I especially like about this one is that their argument actually makes a lot of sense. Down to its core, this song is about how great it is to be different, but they bring it to the point where everyone is fighting over who's the best. I could legitimately see myself falling for something like this. The main 5 plus Sunset realize that they're insane, and take this to Principal Celestia and Vice Principal Luna. Sadly, they're about as useful as in the first film. So now it's up to our main characters to stop the triple Hitlers. And what do? They hang around the statue and do stuff. At least they're talking about the problem.
I sure don't know how to use it to whoop anybody's butt.
It's not like I know how to open up a can of whoop ass on a son of a biatch. But then they realize that not only do they need Twilight, but they also don't have a way of contacting her. But when there's a sunset, there's a way, and she leads them to a book.
Maybe it still works.
That's a book, darling. What do you mean maybe still works?
But not just any book. A magical book that can send messages through the fabric of reality itself. So she scribbles a letter to Twilight, who is sitting on the floor for some reason.
Where do you want all these books from, Princess Celestia?
The library. 3rd door on the left.
Even this one that's glowing and vibrating?
Sorry, I left my book on vibrate.
What you say?
She reads what's written to find what we already know.
The way Sunset Shimmer described them, I think these new girls sound an awful lot like the sirens.
And what are the sirens? Well, they're...
The sirens were 3 beautiful but dangerous creatures who had the power to charm ponies with their music. But to maintain this power, they had to feed on the negativity and distrust of others. The more of this negative energy they consumed, the stronger their voices became, and the farther they could spread their dark magic. If the sirens had their way, they would have divided and conquered all of Equestria. But a certain Star-Swirl the Bearded wasn't having it. Rumor has it, he found a way to banish them to another world, one where he believed their magic power would be lost. That world must have been the one where my Canterlot High friends live.
You stole my lines! Anywho, to go to that dimension once again, she goes to the Crystal Empire to see the mirror, or she uses the power of the book to create a contraption even Phineas and Ferb would call science fiction. Okay.
And the interval between the 2 points is defined as the square root of the sum of the squares of the separation between the points along 3 spatial dimensions.
Say what now?
I like this picture, mostly because Verity looks like she's about to sneeze.
Duh! She's gonna take the magic in here and put it in there. That'll make the portal open up so that whenever she wants to, she can go from here to there.
Thank you, Pinky. Now will you please...
There to here. Here to there. Here to there. Here to there.
Shut
Here to
up.
here. Here to there. Here to there. Here to there.
Shut up.
Here to there. Here to there.
Shut
Quiet!
Thank you, Starlight. Twilight tests it out, and of course it works, letting her go back to Camelot High. That is after this pretty awesome sequence of the machine running for the first time.
Don't suppose we could join you this time around?
Better not.
That would be too interesting. But Spike gets to go along still, even though he's pretty much pointless to the plot. We cut to the other 6 just hanging around the statue, because it's not like there's 3 shitbags trying to take over the school. Then suddenly, Twilight comes out of the statue and hugs!
And I've got some bad news about those new girls.
We were expecting good news. The main 7 go out to a cafe to talk. Again, there's some evil chicks you might want to kill.
A certain blue-haired guitar player was just asking about you.
Flash Sentry was asking about me?
No, noteworthy.
She's got an official title now. Da-da-da-da! The Princess of Friendship!
Unlike before, when she was just a princess of being purple. My god, they just keep talking. I don't care. Granted, some of this is important, but not all of it. Hell, most of it can be told visually. This is a visual medium after all. Show, don't tell. They head on out to some gathering of the bands to thwart the sirens. Just as expected, everyone still hates each other. But rather than saying or doing something funny, they just decide to give each other the silent treatment.
I'm gonna get more punch.
See, if you wanted to get on my good side, you would have kicked his ass to another planet. He and Twilight bump into each other because the script said so, and speaking of the devil, the human main 6 pull a brony out of the gym to hopefully rain on their parade, and it doesn't work. I didn't see this coming, especially with 43 minutes left in the film.
I don't understand. We're all together again. Why isn't this working?
I don't know, maybe having your crown might help. Since they're obviously smarter, the 3 killjoys convince the entire school to be against these 7. Along with that, they also figure out that the main characters are the main characters and decide to start focusing on them. Later, Sunset realizes that if they use their magical music, they might be able to defeat the triple threats. So Twilight comes up with a plan to write a song that will take away the Sirens' powers, and they'll play it at the Battle of the Bands. Here's a little detail. Look at Twilight's hands as she's talking. They take the shape of hooves, which makes sense since that's how she's used to having them. I like it.
And I believe you, Twilight, just became the Rainboom's newest member.
Awkward! But what'll she play? Since she's not used to having fingers, she becomes lead singer.
Like, as in lead singer? 'Cause that's usually my gig. This being my band and all.
It's our band.
Okay, for 1, you're called the Rainbooms. 2, does anyone apart from the diehard fans know any member of a band apart from the lead singer? I mean, tell me, can you remember any member of Nirvana apart from Kurt Cobain? Or anyone from Queen apart from Freddie Mercury? Along with becoming lead singer, Twilight has to write a counterspell. But at least she gets to spend the night at Pinky's with tons of pop cultural references.
Status update. Okie dokie Loki.
I'm sure that in 30 years, these won't be dated in the slightest. Just like the Jonas Brothers! All while Twilight is actually working. Those freeloaders.
Twilight, I think I speak for all of us when I say I don't know what we would have done if you hadn't come back to help us.
I don't know. Beat the crap out of them. But little do they know, Twilight writes about as well as Sunset. So, later that night, Twilight goes into the kitchen to work on the spell a bit more when Sunset enters.
We really are lucky you're here.
That's what everyone keeps telling me.
Who could possibly need this much whipped cream? Must be nice to have everyone always looking to you for answers to their problems, instead of waiting for you to cause a problem.
Just because everyone expects something from you doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen.
But that doesn't stop them from expecting it.
Which only makes things harder because the last thing you want to do is let everybody down.
And a ship along with millions of fanfics based on this one scene were born. And the only way to follow this up would be with the greatest cameo of all time!
hungry.
It's not only creative, it's not only a fantastic callback, but it's just plain hilarious. It's one of the only moments that I'll have no problem saying is perfect.
I better get some sleep. Good luck with the counterspell. Not that you'll need it. This must be nothing compared to the stuff you're expected to deal with as a princess in Equestria.
Actually, I do Jack Squad's princess. I even sang a song about it. To tell you the truth, even with the cameo out, this would have been a very strong scene. It's nice seeing these two relate to each other so much, and I love how they were both depicted. It's easily my favorite scene in the entire film. But I'll tell you this much. The song that follows might be even better.
Hey, hey, listen. We've got a message for you.
The funny thing about this is that it's basically the cafeteria song from the first movie. Except if it was written by Jason Derulo.
That sounded way better than the last 5 times you played it.
They only practiced it 5 times? I guess it's acceptable for the music to sound like crap then.
I think it's pretty obvious what's going wrong with this counterspell.
Rarity keeps twerking during the second verse. Speaking of Rarity, she takes a break to try on some clothes. You know what? Because I can.
With Sergeant Pinky's lonely who's clubbing.
Also, I like to think that she's changing out of her clothes and Big Mac is hiding in the back staring at her while she does.
She just wants to make things fun. Isn't that what being in a band is supposed to be?
That wasn't a pun. Here, let me do one. Why don't you kiss a girl on January 1st? Because it's the first date! I don't feel like you meant that. But no time for that. They have to be at the Battle of the Bands in 15 minutes. Since the spell's not ready, they'll just perform some generic song for the trailer to buy themselves some time. Oh yeah, and Rainbow Dash's lead singer again. At least my argument is even more valid. We teleport back to the school when... Oh shit, I think Snips and Snails are getting jiggy with it!
Oh yeah, Snips and Snails in the house, yo.
Maybe that dog from the animated Titanic movie will throw in a verse.
You know there's something you should know, so I'm gonna tell you so. Don't sweat it. Forget it. Enjoy the show.
I'm Gigi Sassy Snails. I like whales. When I go to the beach, I always bring my pails.
Man, it's like Zecora from Ultra Fast Pony wrote this.
That curse you have has an easy fix. I like to play my drums with drumsticks.
I don't know why, but they remind me of Vanilla Ice. All they need now is a mic drop.
At least we know one group who won't stand in the way of us getting to the finals.
I hope they win. The Rainbooms go on stage and talk a little more before starting the song.
Be cool enough to win, but not so cool that we end up showing off the whole ears and tails and rainbows thing. So, about 20% less cool.
At some point they start singing for the audience. This is easily the worst song in the film. But with that said, it's still not bad. The song has a nice beat and the lyrics are fine enough. But while they're on stage, their performance gets sabotaged by the other contestants. Things like following Fluttershy with a light. Turning Rarity's 80s fashion into 90s fashion, things like that. My question is, 1, why don't we see this happen to the other bands like the Sirens group, the Dazzlings? And 2, does anybody else see this happen? It's not like they're being subtle, those are huge magnets after all. You think that someone would at least point this out? The Rainbooms go backstage to bicker when Sunset, of all people, tells them to shut up because they still sounded aight. And they leave, just in time for Derpy's group to go on. You know, it's getting a lot harder to defend that Derpy's not retarded. Also,
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
We cut back to the main 6 walking down a hall when they bump into Flash.
I said, we have to stop.
There it is again. So annoying.
Why are you acting like this? I thought we were friends.
Exactly, you put me in the friend zone.
Yeah, and then you decide to come back here just so you could beat me in the Battle of the Bands. I want this, Twilight, and you're trying to take it from me. Some friend.
That's not why.
Come on, Twilight. We've got things to do.
You really think you're gonna help them? I bet you have no idea what you're even doing.
Whoa! Flash, Do you understand what you just did? You just gave bronies a legitimate reason to hate you. We'll have to put you into hiding with Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. But as they move on, the barber's worst nightmares run into Sunset.
Oh, we know all about you, Sunset Shimmer. You've got quite the reputation at Canterlot High.
I've changed. I'm in a much better place now.
I have found Princess Celestia!
Waiting in the wings while your friends have all the fun?
Oh, yes. You girls are so tight.
I have a date with a 6-year-old boy.
Basically, the sirens intimidate Sunset and make her question her choice in friends. Then we see the Dazzlings singing what is my personal favorite song in this whole shebang.
Blindsided by the beat, clapping your hands, stomping your feet. You didn't know that you fell.
It's so damn good. Absolutely everything is amazing in this. The lyrics are well thought out, the music and beat are catchy as shit, and the imagery that goes along with it are some of the best in the movie. Everything is done fantastically in this one song. But sadly, the song has to end, and we see the Rainbows preparing to go on stage for the semifinals against Trixie and her group Trixie and the Illusions.
Tricks up my sleeve. See me dominate, 'cause I'm powerful and great.
Fantastic.
You're never gonna top that performance, Rain Goons. You shouldn't be allowed to when you have such a big advantage over the rest of us.
My superior guitar playing and off-the-charts awesome singing voice?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. I mean her.
What are you talking about? Twilight's barely done anything. After that nonsense, they go up to perform their song that's pretty much just repeating Hey and Awesome a shit ton. The funny thing is that the extended versions of both this and Tricks Up My Sleeve are kinda just the same song. But Rainbow Dash is being too awesome and starting to show her power to the Dazzlings. So it's up to Sunset to pull the curtains to stop this. But that's too much work, so she opts to tackle Dashy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flat Butt.
Backstage, they argue a bit more.
Close the curtains, unplug her amp.
Ha! As if it's plugged in. They continue to bark at each other until Trixie comes in to gloat.
I especially like the part where Sunset Shimmer, in a fit of jealous rage, knocked out Rainbow Dash mid-guitar solo.
It wasn't a fit of jealous rage.
Now don't make me punch you in your uterus. Awkward silence is followed by the three strikes controlling Celestia and Luna to have the Rainbooms win this round. It's such a strange thing for them to do because Trixie was obviously going to win, and since they talked Trixie into sabotaging the main 7 anyways, I don't see what they gained from having the Rainbooms win. We cut to Trixie and her groups pulling a lever to... What? Why does a high school stage have a trap door in it? Unless that's where the Blues Brothers escaped through, it makes no sense. Later that night, Trixie is playing the same song she played for the semifinals. Interesting choice. And not surprisingly, our heroines are still fighting. Jesus, they've spent more time arguing than actually getting along. Tell me, why were they friends again? Not only that, but I'm just so sick of it. There's only so much bickering I can take before I recommend them to Dr. Phil. And yes, I know this is supposed to be the effects of the sirens doing this to them, but their wrangling is still making them too unlikable and mean-spirited. Luckily, Sunset interrupts them, telling them to shut the fuck up, this is just what those assholes want you to do, and they listen and make up.
Ever since you started this band, you've been letting little things get to you. I never said anything because I didn't feel like it was my place. Not when I was so new to this whole friendship thing. I still have a lot to learn, but I do know that if you don't work out even the smallest problems right at the start, the magic of friendship can be turned into something else.
I can't believe all this tension was happening right under my nose and I didn't realize it. I'm supposed to be the one with all the answers, and all I've done since I got here is let you down.
I don't think anyone is supposed to have all the answers, but you can count on your friends to help you find them.
Actually, this is a very nice speech, and is one group should take to heart. But there's no time, for Spike opens the door for them. No wonder they couldn't open it, they were pushing, not pulling. But how does he open it, seeing that he's a dog? Well, he goes to the pony dimension to grab one of their Or he searches the entire school to find the one person who wasn't affected by the douche nozzle spell. That works too.
Come on, y'all. Time to prove we've still got the magic of friendship inside us.
And there's only one way to do it.
We're getting the band back together?
We're on a mission from God.
I don't think it matters what song we play, as long as we play it together, as friends.
I know just the song. Fluttershy's written a really great one.
Sorry, our sound guy was drunk. Can we get a squee in here? Also, how are they supposed to play one of Fluttershy's songs? They haven't even practiced it. But it doesn't matter, as they go on top of a hill, in some of Rarity's worst dresses, where the slowdown Chipettes are already playing an awesome tune. Luckily, that's cool. So, the main six are now able to interrupt the concert for a true battle of the bands. Remember earlier when I said Welcome to the Show had some of the best visuals in this movie? Yeah, it's only beaten out by this time. It's so entertainingly insane, I love it. And it seems the Rainbows like it too, as they become Persona cards. But sadly for them, the Dazzlings dominate them with their own Pokemon. Good thing they have Sunset Shimmer to strip down and start singing.
You're never gonna bring me down. You're never gonna break this part of me. My friends are here to bring me around. Not singing just for popularity. We're here to let you know that we won't let it go. Let it go! Our music is a bomb and it's about to blow.
I'm here at Candlelight High to confirm that yes, the Rainbow's music does in fact blow.
Here to sing our song out loud. Get you dancing with the crowd. As the music of our friendship survives, survives, survives.
But like a bomb, they do blow this thing apart. That includes the Sirens necklace gems.
We will be adored. Tell us that you want us. We won't be ignored.
Still better than Ringo. And this film ends with Sunset becoming a member of the Rainbows and writing to Twilight through the book.
Dear Princess Twilight, missing you already.
Wish you were here. And we get my second favorite song in this movie during the credits. And that was Rainbow Rocks. Despite all of the... Wait, what?
No doubt about it, Spike. There's definitely something strange going on at that school.
Well, that looks cool! Why didn't we get that in this movie? It doesn't matter, because this film is still as awesome as it wants to be. It does have quite a bit of problems, some of them even major, but its strengths are greater than its weaknesses. Rainbow Rocks is a fun movie that any fan of the show can pick up and enjoy. And if you're not a fan, I still recommend at least giving it a chance. Maybe you'll end up being a brony. I'm the Animator Review, and I will see you all in the next one. See you there!
Ooh, this is my jam!
There is a place where the grass is what's for dinner.
Soup, every pony!
Charmed, fun and wild.
Yeehaw!
There must be something in the water.
What we do is if we need that extra push over the cliff, you know what we do?
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly. One louder.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.